What does it take us to? Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight has just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Deadly Life Chapter 6 starts. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Alright, so we going... I might just use the thumbnail. Looks pretty good. Look, I'm not trying to perv out here. I'm legit... I don't know, I just want to be able to find... Like, see, they have very limited CGs in this thing, and I think that's a pretty good CG. Please do ignore... Kyoko's butt. God damn it. I don't think of it like that, okay? That's the last thing I'll worry about. The last thing I want to do is perv out over characters, especially in this type of visual novel. Especially. Oh, after experiencing the despair last time, I don't think my heart can take it. The ladder was impossibly long. Couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was just so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off of it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like a family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light or shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family's creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose, to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up the pride, the reason you wouldn't go so far to enter Hope's Peak, is because of how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all these years, right? You wouldn't have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There's something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? Last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument, and as young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on a ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative, and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But that's not true.
However...
But there is one thing. One thing I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him that we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family? To just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only concern is through blood, nothing more. Or connection, not concern. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Okay.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back!
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should be open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... we're back! Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long the ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Kidding me? That means a lot to us. Best girl came out and saved us. She went out her way and rescued us. We can't not forgive. We can't not be grateful about that. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might.
Listen.
You worried? Yeah, of course.
So then.
Let's get to a concrete. Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words.
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time will we find out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying, rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What do you think is going to happen, isn't? What you think is going to happen, isn't? Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does that mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuru's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let the guard down. There was?
Right.
If you can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in a gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Alright. Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. Alright, let's leave the area. Let's head over to the gym. Oh my god, ladies and gents. We might have gotten the good end. That door's still locked though. Alright, let's head over to the gym then. Probably should be using the map, shouldn't I? Let's make it easier. Dormitory, hope speak first floor. Over to the gym. There we go. Gym entrance. There we go, let's get in there. Let's see what happens.
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
Hey, 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 hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? He was supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule.
Making me angry!
So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that it matters to you, right?
Huh?
I lose?
Hey!
You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as a Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But then Makoto chose to overlook my lie. Your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial weren't all that what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person will protect another like that.
right,
And in response to that unexpected development,
indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come out of aid even after you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto.
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like that. He would have feared for his life, feared none of execution. He could have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you kill Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because of what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. We got him. She got him. We didn't do anything. Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you're accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and
That's
square,
what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Okay, that was kind of cool. She literally just called out Monokuma. Damn, Kyoko. Oh my god. That's it. That's Kyoko. That's our girl. That's our gal. Covering for us.
Hey.
Well, would make a proper that would make a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuru's killer, or the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Barely interesting indeed. Wow, barely. Barely?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Now, what would you suggest that might be possible? It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If you do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it will cause you unbearable despair, right? That I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Got the bear puns. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. That we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is a long-awaited climax, right? His guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
Guys!
So for this final face-off, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's powering around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to qualify a victory for you. Oh lord, these bear puns are getting really, really bad.
it's true.
That's what I've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuru's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
Guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all that, well, I'll face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When you've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure, so why?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And that's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious, I said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Mukuru is no exception up to that. Huh? Mukuru's trial is no exception. Then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuru. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why did he go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry!
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad?
Phew.
He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we're out of the gym. Oh lord. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. with thanking her. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle's still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the Mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because
It's all because of that one moment that the Mastermind let the guard down, like I said. So what was it that the Mastermind let the guard down?
so
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the Mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen.
And what'd you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow, the Mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would seem
The Mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope Speak, right? The outside world has a name for the students of Hope Speak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair. The Mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. The group who only pursue and motivation comes from despair. But that's really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led the Mastermind, revealing the weakness. What?
in other words,
Because the goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The Mastermind has to be the more particular. The Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored the rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of the regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all the proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer. They made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when the fact was exposed to live TV on the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it show that they violated their own regulations. But all that was a hunch, right? And were you still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge?
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Especially I was making a bet. Essentially, I was making a bet. My throat was getting very, very dry there. My bad.
Whew.
But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. It looks as if it's a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment you decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it will cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
Before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but how do we know who our real enemy is? All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in a dorm somewhere. Shall we go? I can kind of understand what she means by it might be difficult to work with others. Mostly because 16 people went in. Nobody else went in. Whoever this mastermind is, it has to be one of us. It has to be. It could be. There's a possibility. There's still a very strong possibility. But for now, I'll end this right here. This was a very, very exciting and very charged episode. Oh, actual recording session, not just entire episode. Whew. That was good. This is good. We're getting very, very close to the end of this. The climax is probably going to take a really long time. Somebody said that apparently 2 trials at the end, I don't know. But oh lord, it's going to be a mess probably. It's going to be probably the worst possible trial ever. I'm pretty sure this, well, I mean, we're in chapter 6, this is the very last chapter. We just got to stretch before the second DanganRonpa is going to be started. DanganRonpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Oh lord, this is going to be good. Well now though, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I've certainly enjoyed. My name is Samuel. Like, subscribe, and as always, have a good day, and I'll see you guys all in the next episode of DanganRonpa. Take care, everybody. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Samuel. Welcome to Hello, what have we got here? Hello, ladies. How's it going? Breasts as a treasure of the net. I kind of want to say you could dress better.